What's up, guys? So today we're going to be interviewing Dylan. Dylan recently joined the Freedom Team mentorship, and so far he's been absolutely crushing it. So we're going to go ahead, interview him, kind of learn about his story, how his experience went with the Freedom Team. So yeah, thank you so much, Dylan, for coming on. I really appreciate that. We can kind of start out a little bit with your background, kind of how you got started with trading and what made you
For
want
sure.
to really get into it.
Yeah, so I really started studying and learning about trading back in high school. Really kind of fell in love with it back in high school, just seeing a bunch of stuff on social media. I think that's probably pretty typical for most people why they want to get into this. So that really caught my eye. And then throughout college, the past couple years, really started diving into it. Started out in the small cap region and learned a lot through that, a lot of ups and downs. I just really couldn't find consistency through it. So then I switched over to options. And that's when I really found you on Twitter, mainly. And just you knowing about supply and demand, and just technicals in general. It really caught my eye. Because I really focus on technical analysis. So, whenever I came across you on Twitter, I really thought that my process and my strategy was really similar to yours. But I guess I just couldn't find that next step yet to consistency. So that's really why I wanted to join the Freedom Team to get in your mentorship program, because I know I've heard great things about you and the team. Really wanted to get involved with that, and so far it's been great, man.
That's awesome. And yeah, I know we can dive into the strategy a little bit because I know for me, like when I first found supply demand, I was like, this is incredible. And then when I
Right.
started doing, I was like losing money and I was like, okay, wait, what's going on? Like I thought this is supposed to work. And like you said, like there's just a few simple things that kind of need to be put into place to really get yourself on to consistency, right?
Right.
So is there anything kind of so far? I know you've recently joined, but is there anything so far that's really helped you get to that next level in your trading?
Yeah, I mean, I would say honestly, just the content that you provide the team is some of the best I've ever seen, right? I mean, I've been in Discords, I've been in rooms before where they've been great, but again, there's just not that much content where you can really dive in. And you provide an extreme amount of content for us to really dive in and learn your strategy, all the ins and outs of it. And I really think that took my training to the next level. Like I said, I'm a technical analysis trader. Look at supply and demand zones, support and resistance, all that trend, what you have, volume, and just a lot of those videos on supply and demand and using trend with that. I think you simplify the strategy a lot. A lot of people just think, supply and demand, you can just use that and be profitable. But there's also a lot of other steps that need to be taken with it. And recently, just gauging trend. I always knew about trend, but how you break it down and how you simplify it has really taken my training to the next level. It's an exact system, which I really like, which I was missing out on, early on in my trading career. I really know my process. I know what I look for. I know what setups I like to take, and it just simplifies it and really keeps the stress down. And that's something I struggle with a lot when I first started trading, was just, getting into trades, just being fearful of losing, fearful of being wrong, all that kind of stuff. And now it's just an exact system that I follow on a daily basis. And the strategies and the content that you provide us is just, like I said, above and beyond, just unbelievable. Some of the best I've ever seen.
I appreciate that. Yeah. No, trading with the strategy, like a proven strategy, is definitely gonna help you get results. And like I said, it's like seems like for you, trend was like one of the key things that really helped you out there, which is awesome because
Absolutely.
it's so important when it comes to trading. So
For sure.
cool.
For sure.
So yeah, with your, the past when you first started with small caps, because I used to start with small caps as well. And I
Mm-hmm.
know I was so emotional when trading those. It was like my heart was
Absolutely.
racing every single trade.
Yep.
Why don't you talk a little bit kind of about maybe some of the emotions you had when you first started and kind of how that's maybe changed or maybe not changed, coming into the Freedom Team?
Yeah, so I think when I first started, it was one of those things, just kind of the get rich scheme, quick. You're just trying to, trade. You see all these profitable traders, you're like, man, I can get there, and then you size up too fast and it wipes out all your gains. And a lot of the times with, when I first started in the small cap, in small caps and stuff, I found myself just very inconsistent, kind of like that boom and bust phase. I'd be consistent for a month or two and then take just one loss that would wipe out all my gains, and I would just be back to square one, and that was really frustrating. It was really hard on me mentally. More than anything, a lot of times I thought about giving up, just being like, man, I can't do this in the long run. I need to try something else. But then again, I think when I found you and switched over to options and futures, I'm mainly a futures trader now. And just the strategy that you teach, it really kind of clears my mind and clears those emotions that I did go through in the past with small caps and with options sometimes. And I cut out that get rich mentality as soon as I started with the team. I know this does not happen overnight. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of hours, behind the screen, studying setups, studying yourself. But the biggest thing though for me is, yeah, you have your A+ setups, but it's just battling your own mind. I think a lot of the times I still struggle with it today. Just not pulling the trigger on setups that I know are A+ quality setups. And I think it was just, going back to that, when I first started trading, the fear of being wrong, the fear of losing money, so that I still battle with that constantly. But I just try to remind myself, I've done the work, I've back tested, I know what I want, I know what I look for in a trade. So that's really cleared my mind. And again, I'm sure you can attest to this. It's still an ongoing battle every day, emotions and stuff like that. But I think just staying disciplined with a consistent strategy can really take your trading to the next level.
Totally. Yeah. I love that. And obviously with kind of back testing and learning and figuring out your new strategy, right? That's going to come with a lot more confidence. And confidence
Right.
really helps you with everything, helps with your emotions, helps you pull the trigger on all these trades.
Hmm.
So would you say like you maybe when you started, like did you have confidence beforehand or how was that maybe grown while you've, been trading the past few months?
Yeah, so I really didn't have confidence, starting out, and I think I got humbled a lot by the markets for sure. Starting out, losing, a lot of my port, because I would just be going all in. I would lose a little bit of money, and then I would size up, trying to make it all back, and then how that ends. Ends up with a bigger loss and a bigger drawdown. But recently, the confidence has been at an all-time high, and I think that just again. Attest to the work I've been putting in, the hours I've been, studying and studying your content, studying your videos, going back, rewatching them, relearning them. I think the Freedom Team is great because you guys provide information, on on Slack. You guys are talking throughout the day, what you guys are seeing, maybe some of the emotions that you guys are going through, why you did get in this trade, didn't get in this trade. So it's nice having a group of guys all working towards the same goal and you can kind of piggyback off one another, right? Kind of see where everyone else is, where their mindset is, and how their mind is, going with the market that day. And I think it's just nice having a group of guys that are trying to get to that same goal, and trying to reach for that same goal. So it's nice having a group of guys that you can kind of count on and help you through this.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously throughout your journey, it's always a process, like you said, it's always ongoing, it's always a battle. Is there any like maybe specific moments, maybe specific trades, maybe it was a a question within the Freedom Team or something that kind of really like changed your perspective on trading or really like took it to the next level?
Yeah, I honestly just think recently, it's not the money, man. I really learned that, because I've had some good trades before where, they may have been my biggest wins money wise, but like I didn't feel that great because I didn't stick with process. I kind of gambled and ended up working out for me. But recently, dude, it's more so just profits over, or I'm sorry, process over process. I'm sorry, process over profits. I don't really focus on the profits anymore. I really just want to just stick to my strategy and know that, my process is going to eventually, give me those profits that I want. I think that's really this last week, specifically really took my training to the next level. Again, like it wasn't my biggest week ever. But again, just sticking to the script, sticking to my setups, and that just like builds my confidence so much. I don't really, again, at the end of the day, the P&L is great, but if I stuck to my process, the profits are going to come. So that's really all I've been focusing on, and that's just again cleared my mind and made me a better trader since I've been joining the Freedom team.
Totally. And like I'm a huge advocate for only sticking with A+ setups, only those high
Yeah,
quality setups. And obviously like when I first started, I'm sure when you first started as well, you were taking every setup out there, every single trade
yeah.
you could see, you were trying to get in. So do you think like maybe your FOMO has gone down a little bit? Do you think like now you're a little bit more disciplined in terms of only sticking to those higher quality setups?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, you think, when you're on the screens or whatever, a lot of the times, I would see a trade, working out. I wouldn't even be in yet, but it's like, oh man, maybe I should get in, and then it ends up working. You're beating yourself up because you missed the trade, but it shouldn't really be like that, man. You should have, a set game plan. This is my entry. This is where my stop is. These are my take profit levels, and you just kind of sit and be patient and let it work out, man. I think like whenever I first started, it was just a grind for me, really hard on me mentally because I would FOMO into everything. You could, I was looking short, see a big wash, chase it, shoot right back up. And your strategy is really simple, man. It's, waiting, being patient for your setups, waiting for trend to change, waiting for a supply and demand to form, getting in, setting your risk, knowing your risk, setting your stop, and then just sitting and waiting. I mean, I don't even really have to be on the screens all the time. I can just kind of sit and be patient and wait for my setups. I think that's really cleared my mental, cleared my headspace a little bit, and just being disciplined enough to sit there and be patient for my setups has helped dramatically.
Yeah, and we can even talk about that a little bit as well, because I know, the reason why I kind of set up my trading in a way where I only have to really trade the first like 30 minutes to an hour is because like, everyone has stuff going on and nobody wants to sit on
Hmm.
the screen the whole day. And it's
Right.
kind of like a win-win because like the way obviously we do our trading in hours, we kind of automate it. So we don't even need to, we get rid of those emotions, right? We're not staring at the 1 minute chart anymore, like zooming in on
Absolutely.
every single direction. So do you think you've been able to get some of your time back through like some of the maybe the strategies you've learned or how you're trading now?
Absolutely, man. There when I first started out in small caps, and even when I first was starting to get into options, I would sit there from 7 a.m. to 4:30, man, watching every single tick, and you'd be drained at the end of the day. It's honestly not a life that I wanted to live. I didn't get into trading for that. I got into this for freedom to do other things that I like. I love trading, but it's not ideal sitting there 8 hours a day. So what I learned from you and the Freedom team is just again wait, be patient for your setups, and again, I'm usually done by 11 or 12 every single day. I don't have to sit around, um, all day till 4 p.m. and wait for my setups. I'm in and out and done by 12 o'clock, and have the rest of my day to do whatever I want, which I love. The strategy is very simple. No stress involved, and it's been a great experience so far.
That's awesome. And I don't want to take up too much of your time here, but we can end it off on this question here. Is there anything because there's people who are going to be watching this, they're considering joining, maybe they're not quite sure, they have
For
some
sure.
concerns, some doubts. Is there anything that you'd want to like tell them or somebody who's thinking of joining?
Absolutely. I mean, I would 100% join this room. I like I said, I've been in some different rooms. Had a lot of ups and downs with stuff, and I think you just simplify everything for me, man. I think joining this room was definitely the best decision I ever made with my trading. It really has, I've finally been, seeing consistent gains, consistent profits. And like I said, dude, it's not, you can't get rich with this overnight. It's going to be a grind, but you and Zach and the other members in the room consistently just, pound that into our heads. Look, it's not, a get rich scheme. It's going to take time and effort, but the content, like I was saying earlier, that you provide, the content, the strategies, the videos that you have in the room are some of the best I've ever seen. So again, I can't vouch for this enough. It is definitely worth it. It's you get so much out of it. And again, these one-on-one mentorship calls are very, very helpful. Again, no other room does that. You and Zach really care about each individual, and trying to get us to be consistently profitable traders, which I can't say a lot of, a lot of other rooms do. I don't know actually any that do that. So this is really taking my training to the next level. I would not miss out on this opportunity. I think it's definitely the best decision I've made for my trading. And, I'm seeing it right now. Again, obviously very focused on process over profits, but I know if I can consistently show up, continue to learn from you guys, the profits are going to come. And I'm very excited to continue this journey, continue this mentorship program. So if you're thinking about signing up, definitely do it. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, that is awesome. I love that. Well, yeah, thank you so much, Dylan, for hopping on and taking the time to do this interview with me. I know you've been crushing it, and I'm very excited to see you continue to grow and just scale
Yeah,
your
man.
account and kill it. So I absolutely love
Absolutely.
but yeah,
Appreciate it, man. Thank
I'll
you.
see you rest in the chat and have a good rest of your
Excellent.
day.